Hey, good morning, all. Welcome to the Common Good Podcast. Doug Pagitt here in Minneapolis. Somewhere squirreled away outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Robb Ryerse. Amen.
Hey there.
Happy 4th of July week. Happy 250th celebration of a country that once had freedoms. Freedoms gained, freedoms lost. The 250-year history of the United States of America and the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Supreme Court confirmed sexual abuser.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. I'm sure we're going to talk about the Supreme Court today. This is why, Doug, people ask me, why are you running for Congress?
Yeah, why are you running for Congress, Rob?
I'm running for Congress because we have a system of checks and balances where in our three co-equal branches of government, the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, supposed to kind of keep an eye on each other, keep each other checks and balances. And I have said consistently that the judicial branch is completely unreliable to keep this executive branch in check. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And I mean, we'll talk about it today, I'm sure. Just today's decisions, like just
we certainly will.
Bonkers in terms of the decisions made by the Supreme Court, sometimes holding the Trump administration in check, sometimes giving them unrestricted, unlimited power. And so what we need to do, the only thing we can do to reliably stop Donald Trump and his agenda is to flip Congress. So that's why I'm running.
Well, thanks for running. Thanks for being part of the legislative branch. Frankly, the least sexy of the three branches. Can we all just be honest? Like, if you got the executive branch, C-suite level leadership, and then the judicial branch with the robes and the
it's mysterious, grand poobah kind of like the elders,
mallets.
Yeah. And then
I mean, when you walk in a room, Rob, doing your job when you're elected as a congressperson, people will probably jeer at you and yell at you and say, you work for me. When a judge is in the judge's job, the judge is like, everybody sit down. You speak when I tell you.
That's right.
I mean, they get to run their little freedom court without a lot of freedoms.
That's right. And
what
even,
I'm running. What can you do?
I'm running for the House of Representatives, which is even the hoi polloi of the legislative branch. It's just the rabble rouser. It's the
it's the part-time interns. You're here for 2 years. Don't act like you own the place. Could I take you down the street to the Senate office building where
you're so iffy that we're going to give people a chance to check in on this again in 2 years. Like
you are iffy. We've got you on temporary status here.
That's right.
That's a great bit. When you take your oath, you should be like, "Hey, I get it. This is like a summer job when it comes to politics."
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You're gonna...
But if things don't work out, I can always come back to the #1 ranked progressive Christian podcast in the world.
#1, baby.
#1.
#1. This podcast. Top of the heap. Long time coming.
Long-time listeners know that I think we started at 23 out of 50.
We've been climbing and working.
We set our sights on Clackamas United Church of Christ, man, we reeled them in
Clackamas
and passed
me some
them.
tears, Clackamas.
That's right. And then we began climbing. I think last we saw we were at #4, and now because of you, our great listeners, we have hit the #1 spot.
We're #1. I wish I should have gotten one of those big foam fingers with the #1.
Yep. It's one of those things where you can, and this is like, Amazon bestseller books too. You do the thing where you can get so niche in terms of the category you're in that, I mean, Doug, we are the #1 podcast hosted by progressive Christian pastors talking about politics from Minneapolis and Arkansas in the world. Number one.
On
Number one.
Tuesdays, typically sometime between 9 and noon.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
We've really nailed the
We're number one. Nobody tops us. But no, this is the best
big deal.
Christian best progressive Christian podcast.
in
Yeah,
America.
which is,
Well,
again, just a huge pond that we are really big fish in.
and probably in the world, and therefore in the universe. Universally number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and so much so that we sent that out in our email and told people, really as a way to tell them that we have a podcast, but that we hit that we hit number one, and then sent it out in a text message to people. They're like, we're number one.
I saw it on social media too.
It's awesome. It's just great. Hey, I noticed
need
this.
to send it to my social person.
This comment from Lynn's a little political. Hey, Lynn's, you say that you made a really fun graphic for the SCOTUS thing. Could you send it to Doug@votecommongood.com? And if I remember and get it in time, we'll pop it up here. So, Doug,
totally
spelled the traditional way. I said my name the other day. Somebody was typing it in, and they said spelled the traditional way, which was such an interesting way. I said, well, D-U-G. Yeah, I come from a family of homemakers. And then they paused and looked. I mean, they were taking this really seriously. The traditional way. I said, no, I think I know what you mean. The traditional way. Yes, there's an O, a silent O.
Yep.
In Doug.
Yep.
So okay, Rob, it's 4th of July week. So let's talk 4th of July week here.
Well, I was gonna.
How do you spend it?
I was gonna talk about last week. I was gonna talk about last week first. Last week.
Okay, John Oliver.
Here in somewhere outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas, we had 50,000 people descend on Fayetteville, Arkansas for the
Colby Martin
annual
speaking event.
Yes, and Pride Parade, and had a really amazing time.
Is that
it was really
50,
a lot of
hold on, truly 50,000 people.
Yes,
came to the Pride Parade. Or
yes,
that's significant.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And
literally more people than went to the opening of the Freedom 250 rally. Where millions of dollars was spent because where there were maybe 4,000 people.
And I'll tell you, Doug, it was a lot of fun. We walked on Friday in the Trans March to signal our support for our trans siblings having
wonderful. Is that a separate? March?
It was a separate event. Yeah, it was a separate. That was more of a march. Almost like a protest. And then the parade on Saturday was really a lot of fun. Just huge, gigantic, so many people. I walked with the Benton County Democrats, and we had in our group, we had a bunch of people carrying signs for our Senate candidate who's running against a guy people know named Tom Cotton. And so they were carrying signs for Hallie Schaffner. And I got to tell you, Doug, walking down Dixon Street in Fayetteville, just thousands of people lined on both sides. Unrelenting cheers for a mile and a half of walking.
Tremendous.
Just when they saw I'd like to say when they saw the Robb Ryerse for Congress signs, but really I know it was the Hallie Schaffner for Senate signs. Just like near deafening, the cheers
really
unending, continuously, just like moving as a wave. It was just so much fun. It was really great.
Were you a like drafting off of all that energy? Did you put your campaign just right up on?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we were right there with it, and it's so much fun. Just really, really great. And our dear friend Colby Martin was here, and we did not eat Taco Bell in the middle of the night.
Is that a Colby thing that you've
Well,
done?
it's a thing that Colby and Vanessa and I, along with a few other people, did, Josh Scott and others, at the Wild Goose Festival last
Mm.
year, 2 o'clock in the morning, ordering Taco Bell to be delivered. We did not do that,
Did you really have it
but
delivered? Did you really order
yeah,
Taco Bell
yeah,
to be
twice, twice, twice.
twice in the same night?
No, 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 goodness, no. We're not, we're not
Okay, all right.
degenerates
Well,
or
good,
anything.
good. I'm
Come
glad
on,
to hear
we've
you
got
didn't like
standards here, Doug. Yeah.
scarf it down and think,
No,
that I
2 nights
should
in
have
a row,
gotten the
though.
Mexican pizza. I
I
think
am
I'm gonna.
entirely too old. I was then, and I remain now entirely too old to eat Taco Bell at 2 o'clock in the morning, but really a lot of fun. But I think Colby liked Northwest Arkansas. He had a great time, and we had a great time
Okay,
seeing him.
okay. Quick survey. Who hasn't liked Northwest Arkansas? As it turns out,
I don't know.
I
There's
mean,
nothing not to like. I mean,
the,
Tom Cotton.
why does Tom Cotton? Why does Tom Cotton hate Northwest Arkansas? That's
I
weird.
mean, he lives in Virginia. He doesn't even live here.
We could make the AI song like we did for "Why Does Andy Bashir Hate Toaster Ovens?" that we
Andy
had to make
Bashir was here this weekend.
when the RVs of
Yeah,
Kentucky,
yeah,
the roads
yeah.
of
We did.
Kentucky knocked all things in the
Yes.
RV from their
Yeah, I remember
bearings.
that.
Fix
Yeah,
the roads, Andy Bashir,
Andy Bashir was
and
here
then
in
fix the
Bentonville this
country, my
weekend too.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
meet?
We had a
Did you
lot
meet
going on.
Andy?
I chose not to attend the event.
Oh, because you have choices.
No, it was one of those $2,500,
Oh, oh,
per
done.
plate kind of
Yeah.
things,
If
and
you
it
don't get a
just
guitar out of it, it's not worth the $2,500.
it's not that, and I understand political fundraising, and Andy Bashir's running for
Yeah.
president and all of that. That's just not my speed.
No. You're running for Congress. You're not the kind of guy that does that.
That's right. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
All
want to
right.
hang around
Well,
with the political
congratulations on a
bigwigs.
great Pride Week. Big
Yes,
one
and
here in
so 4th of
Minneapolis as
July.
well. We
Um,
missed it.
we
What do you do
are,
your 4th of July week? Give us like the history of 4th of July weeks, because Americans kind of know what they do 4th of July,
yeah,
right? I'm
yeah.
having a celebration this weekend, and when I said to people, even back in April, like, "Hey, we're doing a thing on the 5th of July," and they're like, "I know what I'm doing 4th of July week." Like, people might not know what their Thanksgiving is going to look like next year, or Christmas, or who they're going to fall in love with and spend their life with. But by golly, the 4th of July week,
Yeah.
I'm locked
Yep.
in.
We did not grow up either in where I grew up in Ohio, where Vanessa grew up in Pennsylvania. We did not grow up with fireworks. Fireworks that were shot off by individuals, by families, by neighborhoods. The fireworks were something happening at the baseball stadium, or the fireworks were a municipal activity.
Oh, I see. People didn't have
It
their own.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. You didn't go and stop at the tent and buy fireworks. So moving here to Arkansas really kind of changed the dynamic, because it was like, oh, we can get some fireworks and shoot them off in our street. And
Okay,
had a little
maybe a
bit of fun
reason
with
not
that.
to like Northwest Arkansas after all. You were trained up
Um,
in the trashy activity of sulfur burning and loud noise clanging.
yeah, it's rough, but really a lot of fun.
Oh,
And so we get just a little bit. We don't get a lot. We just get a few, and and so we'll do that. We are very excited, though. For the first time in 10 years, fireworks are going to be let off in the city of Fayetteville at the Northwest Arkansas Mall, and so we're probably going to head over there
because
it'll
of
be the
Freedom
first time in 10
250.
years.
Is it Freedom 250 money that
Well,
they're?
I think it's also it might be a better quality mayor of
Oh,
the city of Fayetteville who gets it, that
huh.
people want fireworks from the city on the 4th of July. So thank you, Mayor Molly.
Isn't that drug
How
people
about you?
take? Isn't that drug people take called Molly? Isn't that? Isn't there
It's also our mayor's first name, but I
okay.
think
Mayor
yeah,
Molly. Yeah,
unrelated.
Mayor Molly
Unrelated.
sounds like a thing that people are like, hey, we're doing a thing with Mayor
Yeah,
Molly.
it's a little yeah. Now
Sounds like a
this is not just America 250.
mm-mm.
It is Doug 60.
Yeah, this is how
We
have I
need to
not
make a
how have I not
graphic that
come up with
looks like
that?
the
Like, yeah, how
America
have I
2
missed that?
It's yeah, we need to like the America 250 graphic, we need to make a
100%.
Doug 60 graphic.
Doug 60. Because I'm turning 60.
Yeah.
Well, to be clear, to be honest,
Oh boy.
I'm
Yeah.
finishing the 60th year since I exited my mother.
Yeah, and we
That
are and there's a celebration of your mother's accomplishments 60 years ago happening.
yeah, yeah. As I like to say, birthdays, when we all learn to take credit for things our mom did. Yeah, so it's my 60th, the completion of my 60th year. I think I
Mm.
probably joked last week. If it's Sunday, July 5th. If somehow I were to find my way to glory on July 4th, the newspaper would say, Doug Pagitt, 59, passed away today. You don't get credit until
Yeah,
that day,
it's done. That's right.
and and someone should
You gotta
check my
lock
birth
it in.
certificate, and I should name the hour. Hang on a minute, I'm not there yet. Now I've completed your 60th year. And again, I've already it's when you're done with that year, you get no credit until you clean your plate, put it in the sink. Then
Mhm.
you get credit
I
for
mean,
that.
kids do that thing where like, "Well, I'm, 8 and a half, or I'm 8 and
Hmm.
3 quarters." Like, "No,
Yes,
you're 8."
you finished half of your year. I think
Yeah.
this is true in Korean culture,
Mm.
that they know the day you were born, so July 5th, but
Mhm.
the start of the calendar year, everyone born everyone's birthday changes that year. So January 1st, somebody should chat GPT check me on this. January 1st, everybody born in 1966 is 60 years old. So if you say to someone, how old are you? You don't wait until the day to do the thing I was just having fun with.
Wow.
You're born in 66, the start of 2026, you're 60. Isn't that
Wow.
great? I love it. We're just all 60, all the year 1966 birth people. And if you were born on, again, somebody should check this. Where's the Abbots when we need them? Uh, so I don't know. I guess in Korea I'm already 60. But around here, where you got to earn it, I
That's
get
right.
credit. I get credit on Sunday. So yeah, the 4th of July week has always also been my birthday. Was of course tricked by my sister to be told that the fireworks were for me. And unlike a lot of people, there have been do-it-yourself fireworks around my life, and I've never liked them. They they are great, they are wonderful, they are beautiful, they are fabulous. Enjoy yourself. I can't stand them. I don't like the sound. I think they look rather underwhelming. I really don't like that sulfur smell.
Mm.
You know, it reminds me that we're all just living in hell's waiting room, so I just don't like the smell of.
It's,
I stole that from the Memphis guy. Uh,
it
when he said, I'm running
uh,
for Congress in South Florida, which we also call hell's waiting room. I could not believe
yeah,
that line. That
it's
was a doozy
it's a
from a
good one.
congressional
Yeah.
candidate. So anyway, I'm not into that. I have
Yeah.
rarely stayed up late enough, but this year we're pulling out all the stops. We're doing a big party. People are coming in town. We got a whole itinerary. There's people.
Oh,
It's a
I
to
am
do. So I've got
I
a
am
big
very
busy week.
sorry that Vanessa and I are not gonna be joining you. It just didn't work out. We were looking forward to Doug 60, and it just weren't able to make it happen.
Kimberly Johnson, you have a birthday on the 4th of July. Okay, Kimberly, we're running a party in my yard on the 5th of July. You should come because anybody whose birthday is anywhere around that time, it's their birthday party too. So, guy up the street has a birthday party the 5th. Somebody else has one on the 3rd. Kimberly, reach out to me, Doug at vocommongood.com. I'll get you details. Come to the party. It's a block party, neighborhood block party, and other things. So lots of people that don't know each other, so you won't feel weird. Anyway, yeah, that's
Yeah.
and it is something to be an old man at 60 and to say, okay, we're at 250. When I was born, the country was 190 years old. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was 190 when I came in. It was still fresh. Yep. Now it's 250. Like that.
Yeah.
That has struck me as much
knees
as
are beginning to ache.
as me being 60. And turns out,
it's getting up to pee in the middle of the night.
Oh, it's wandering around just writing messages that make
Oh,
no sense.
goodness sakes. Doug, will there be more? Sorry, chicken DQ just got me with the happy birthday Doug message.
At Chicken, thanks for carefully listening to what's going on. I spell it the traditional way of those who make holes.
That's
from the
funny.
family of those who make holes.
That's funny. Will there be more people at your birthday party than showed up for the America State Fair?
It's my goal. The birthday
in
party
Washington, D.C.
and now granted, we do an annual yard party. It often plays double role for 2 different streets on either side of where we live. It's like a neighborhood block party, and then I steal the glory for my birthday. A couple of years ago, my friend who had a smash burger business, kind of like a food truck business, was here. The Star Tribune Minneapolis newspaper was doing wanted to do a story about him. So they came to this particular event, not knowing it was a yard party and it was my birthday. And my birthday got on the front page of the newspaper, of the Minneapolis Star Tribune newspaper. It was, and 2 years before that, the police came and shut us down because it was so loud. Like it just gets
fantastic.
It gets really great. So anyway, it's a hoot and rootin' time. We invited people to come to Minneapolis to join the freedom fighters in year 250, where again, people had to rise up against a tyrannical government that sent soldiers into its town to kill the citizens, which is what happened in Minneapolis. And we're going to go see those. You know what's sad, Rob, is that in a sweet little town like Minneapolis, you can put on your schedule for people coming in from out of town. Hey, on the 4th of July, we will go to the local parade. Cutesy little thing, makes you feel Americana. In the evening, we'll go to the Taste of Minnesota, where there'll be bands and street fairs and all kinds of glory and fun. At 9:30, there will be just literally burning money up by sending off fireworks for 45 minutes and a grand display over the mighty Mississippi River. And that afternoon, we will go to the 3 sites within walking distance of each other, if you have a hearty walk in you, where George Floyd was murdered 6 years ago, where Renee Good was murdered by an ICE agent, and where a Border Patrol agent shot and killed Freddie on the ground. We're going to go to all 3 of those sites right here in sweet little Minneapolis, because the terror reign of this administration does not care. They will rain it down on Portland. They will rain it on Chicago and LA and Charlotte and Nashville and Memphis and probably Fayetteville, Arkansas, when they get around to it. Once Trump realizes that the Clintons were from Arkansas, they will come there. And what do all those cities have in common? Political adversaries of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You can make all the arguments about we're trying to get the worst of the worst out of the country, all the rest of it. You think Minneapolis really has the worst of the worst? That's really what it is? Or do you think it's that our governor, Tim Walz, was the vice presidential nominee, and Ilhan Omar, the representative from the bulk of the city of Minneapolis, congressional representative, is a constant thorn in the flesh of the racism of this administration? So we get to celebrate that we rose up, that the mighty rebel loon took its role, and they left in shame, and we will honor the lives of those who were murdered by this administration.
Yep.
And then this administration, Rob, you probably know this, has the gall to bring criminal charges against those people in Minneapolis who were pursuing them to document what they were doing.
Yeah.
And have not charged the people who unloaded federally distributed weapons into the chest and the back of American citizens in this town. No charges against them, but charges against the citizens who followed ICE around. The case is going to go nowhere. They're going to lose, as they lose all the important things in court, unless they can drive it all the way up to the Supreme Court, where they get some kind of a kick save from the administration. Should we talk about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, this administration feels free to extend its tyranny because it knows that the Supreme Court will often, not always, but often give it the green light to just go ahead and do what it wants. And, we've seen decisions from the Supreme Court over the last couple of days as it finishes up its session, so to speak. Always, saves its most controversial decisions for the very end of its announcements. They've come out over the last couple of days. And, yesterday there were a couple of decisions. What Donald Trump has sought is, so Donald Trump is the executive of the executive branch. The executive branch of our government is made up of not just the president, but a series of agencies that are led by secretaries that handle all sorts of the day-to-day administration of, the workings of our federal government. Some of those agencies, because of the work they do, have been deemed as independent. They've been given a bit of autonomy from the executive branch because what the work that they have to do is, oversight in some ways, could impact the administration. They need to have some
right
ability to remain untouched by the politics of the administration, which affects everything. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday that Donald Trump and any executive has the right, the power to fire the employees, the administrators of those agencies at will.
Yeah, personnel decisions are inside the realm of the executive branch,
with the exception of the Federal Reserve.
Okay, little bit. They basically said you still have to provide some level of communication, some level of time for a person to make a decision if you should be removed. They didn't say Trump couldn't remove that person on the Federal Reserve. They basically said she didn't have due process, too strong a word. She didn't have enough time to build a counterpoint. So they gave a little bit of, at will at the one point for some roles, but the Federal Reserve, slightly different. You can still get rid of her, but you got to give her a chance to argue her case. That was basically what they did.
And these are the agencies now. These are the commissions that are now affected. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, Federal Labor Relations Authority, Federal Mine Safety and Health Review Commission, Federal Trade Commission, Merit Systems Protection Board, the National Labor Relations Board, National Mediation Board, National Transportation Safety Board, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the U.S. Institute of Peace, the Federal Election Commission, and the National Credit Union Administration. And essentially what this does is it gives the administration, Donald Trump, the ability to influence what is happening in those agencies. Those commissions often have oversight of the businesses and the corporations, the industries where Donald Trump's friends and donors and himself all have business happening. And what it does is it creates an environment where Donald Trump and his buddies are going to be able to get richer through the political intimidation of these agencies losing their independence.
Now,
it's not good, Doug. It's not good.
It's not good. And I am deeply concerned about the case that the Supreme Court is going to rule on sometime this week, as they traditionally do. They try to be done with this part of their caseload early July, which starts tomorrow. So sometime this week, it's going to be the birthright citizenship case.
That decision has happened. It happened this morning.
What'd they say?
They upheld birthright citizenship. This was one of the losses. Yes, one of the losses. Yep.
For sure.
100%.
Hang on a second.
Yep. Yeah. Here's the headline from Fox News. Trump suffers major Supreme Court defeat as justice birthright.
Well, we lost you.
I'm sorry. I went to Fox News and it had one of those videos that started.
Yeah, you go to Fox News and everything gets broken. Yeah, what are you doing over there? Okay.
Trump suffers major Supreme Court defeat as justices uphold birthright citizenship. 6-3.
Unbelievable. What? Okay.
Yeah. The strict constructionists who are
yes,
the pastors who take the Bible literally. Here are the clear, the ones who are, the Bible's clear when it says, the Constitution is clear when it says, what the Constitution
says, we should love one another. So that's why I'm going to tell you that you deserve hell. But go on.
The Constitution is crystal. Thomas Alito and Kavanaugh. No, it might have been 6. No, it was 5-4. I'm sorry, it was 5-4.
No.
Yeah, it was Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett.
No possible way 4 Supreme Court justices said, the 14th Amendment and Congress solidifying it in law in 1940 is really just up for grabs depending on who the president is. Okay.
Yes, they did. 4 of them. Thankfully, 5 of them said no.
Okay. Here's the thing. This is the consequence of elections, and here's why.
Yeah.
Because what the Supreme Court is doing is actually functioning and making rulings very consistent with a judicial view and a and a constitutional view. The view is the unitary executive theory. They believe somehow this constitutionalist crowd has shifted to believe in the unitary executive theory, which is that the presidency is unique and the power lies there almost exclusively. So if you look at every case that they have ruled on that you may have agreed with or not agreed with, if it was built around the president has the power, then this Supreme Court has tended 6-3 to give credit that way, or 7-2 sometimes. They've been quite consistent. They are not inconsistent. That makes this so absurd because never has there been a case before the Supreme Court that is as clear as what is in the 14th Amendment and what is in congressional statute.
Right.
It is just simply absurd. And the unitary executive theory crowd and the libertarian crowd have completely lost all bearings and have no philosophical underpinnings any longer. This Supreme Court is completely useless. It is just, and the consequence is not that these particular justices are in that role. It was Donald Trump saying, Federalist Society, tell me who you want and we'll put them on the Supreme Court. It goes back to the political nomination process that came through the election of a president. Hillary Clinton lost an election, and that's what caused this. It is well beyond checks and balances. We now have two parts of the three-legged stool of our federal government, the legislative branch, the executive branch, the judicial branch. We have two of those operated by people who have absolutely no philosophical bearing. That is they have a commitment to a theory that is completely unmoored from American tradition. There is one single answer. Expand the Supreme Court when there's a Democratic president and put 11 progressives on the court. Just roll over them. I mean, this is just, it has become completely absurd. So thrilled that Trump experienced a loss on birthright citizenship because it is so clear, and that four of them thought, no, I think any given president should just decide.
Now, the other two decisions from the Supreme Court today, really disconcerting. One upholds the right for the rights of 27 states in the U.S. to exempt transgender athletes from Title IX provisions, which means essentially it allows transgender girls and women to be excluded from girls' sports and women's sports. So a real blow, on the end of Pride Month for so many of our trans siblings. So that's a disconcerting one. And I'll tell you, actually, the most troubling decision in my mind is one related to campaign finance. The Supreme Court ruled today that the little bit of limits that we've had on campaign finance rules is that there are limits on what individuals can donate to a campaign. An individual can donate $3,500 per election to a campaign. So, everybody out there, if you'd like to throw
for each and every campaign, not all campaigns total. You could give just $3,500 to Robb.
Yeah. If you want to throw $3,500 my way, that would be greatly appreciated.
But please no more until we get into the next official part of the cycle.
PACs, political action committees, have been created that allow people who want to donate more than $3,500 to do that and there's different mechanisms with PACs. There's super PACs, there's federal PACs, there's hybrid PACs, there's all sorts of different categories. And there are different rules and responsibilities. But essentially what PACs are not allowed to coordinate with campaigns. So basically
silly.
Right. But the idea is, if the PAC doesn't coordinate with the campaign, then the PAC can spend the money, but it doesn't become like pass through that, like, wink, wink, nod, nod. Here's my way to get thousands and thousands of dollars to a campaign if I'm a billionaire.
My camera. Did you see my camera?
Oh yeah, I thought you were doing it on purpose,
No,
like
I don't know.
wah wah kind of thing.
Go on. Hang on,
Supreme Court ruled today that political parties can coordinate with campaigns in political spending, and there is no limit to that coordination, which essentially means that if there's a billionaire who wants to buy an election, spend, millions and millions of dollars helping somebody get elected, the way to do that now is to make that donation to the political party, and the political party can then spend that money as directed by the campaign. It is a significant undermining of any kind of limits on campaign financing, and it exponentially will shift power even further into the direction of the billionaires and the millionaires.
Yep.
And so I know, Doug, you don't worry.
Should go find some billionaires and millionaires to support them.
You don't worry about campaign finance as much as some of the rest of us do.
It is. No, I don't.
Here's why
I think there's been no proof that that's been the problem.
Oh, I think it has been. Here's ultimately why it's a problem. The loyalty of our elected officials ends up being with the people who fund their campaigns, not with the voters in their districts.
Yes, I totally agree. But campaign finance reform, I mean, I know people who feel like their loyalty is to the unions because it represents a whole bunch of voters and a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of workers, and they won't say certain things because their loyalty is to those clusters and groups. I know some that feel like it's to the party. But here's the thing that gets me is as if people say, well, if there's some billionaire or some high dollar interest, then all of a sudden, I'm going to be a caricature here, but this is what I think people are saying. Then they go from caring about their voters to caring about those people. You've run for office a couple of times. I've run for office. There's a lot of constituency groups that step in front of the voters. The fact that individuals, that people running for office, and I feel like a mansplaining to a guy running for office, have to be on the phone calling for $15 and $20 and $350 and $3,000 caps on donations. And it's dial for dollars for 40% of a congressperson's time and energy. And then we say that they're not beholden to those people that they're calling for money. It's only big dollar donors. I just don't know. I don't understand how people say that making it more complicated for people to give money and putting caps and limits and making it so hard for someone to raise money and having to do all this bookkeeping to keep track of all of this stuff. When are we coordinating? When are we not coordinating? Is that actually giving a candidate more time to spend with their constituents and thinking about their constituents' needs and thinking about their if we wanted to go to something where we're like, hey, we've got publicly financed elections and there's enough money and there's enough money for everybody, but that's not the same, frankly, as the arguments that you hear like, well, tell the billionaires that they can't give money. Okay, I know billionaires spend money. I watched Elon Musk spend $1 billion or some hundreds of millions of dollars in Wisconsin around a Supreme Court case or Supreme Court election. He lost. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. There's a lot of other money. I know billionaires are a big problem, but there's a lot of money being spent in politics coming from a lot of places. It's not as if I have no money and now they have a billionaire, so I have $0, they have $1 billion. I don't know. All I'm saying is it feels like we could solve all of this by saying billionaires are limited and they can't coordinate until you get some rich guy like Steyer or Bloomberg or a wannabe Trump or somebody that's like, I'm just going to privately finance it. And then what? So it seems to me we have a whole much bigger question that we kind of get derailed by this individual is giving too much money and we have to limit how much money that person can give. And then we do a thing where we keep track of money based on the job that someone performs or the company they work for. Just so people know,
they work for.
If somebody is in the oil sector and they work for Chevron and they're a secretary or they're a administrative assistant or they work in the cleaning department and they donate money, they have to say who do they work for, and then Chevron is credited with their employee having given that much money to a Democrat or a Green Party or a Libertarian or something like this, or a Republican. So when they say big oil gives this amount of money, that includes anybody who works for that company. And then that whole sector, anybody who works for those companies in that sector, we say oil gives this amount of money to these candidates. And I don't think that's even accurate. I think it's weird. I think the whole thing of how we do campaign financing and how we keep track of it creates the weirdest, most complex, and I mean, you know it, we deal with it all the time in our work. How much worry somebody has about keep the receipt from the donuts. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what are we? I mean, I want to go after campaigns and from financing to the rules around them, how candidates are elected, who gets access, how people when they're in office spend their money and their time. There's so many things. So yes, I care a lot about how the nature and the health of our campaigns. I just think this thing about let's limit this class of people, this group of people from donating. All we have gotten with all the campaign finance stuff is more money being spent, more people feeling out of the system. It seems to me that the Feingold, what was it? Feingold, the McCain-Feingold, the McCain-Feingold finance thing. That didn't work. So I just think it's, I don't know.
Totally agree.
I feel like we're arguing about the color
totally agree on that
of the fabric on a couch that's rotting. Like, okay, we've got a structural problem on this couch. We're really not talking about the fabric color here. Which, anyway, that's my
yes, we desperately need a real overhaul in how we do campaign finance in America.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
And how people get informed about what's going on in our politics. We don't fund public understanding of the political system. And by goody golly, we could go back to a time when we funded an American imagination about politics. I mean, right now you outsource it to like the weirdest subgroups, either for-profit journalists or influencers or some bank shot of academics that kind of help us understand what's going on. The fact that we don't have a free press that's not connected to, I mean, you want to talk about finance reform?
Oh,
maybe we should, maybe the fact that that the press is managed through a system of just ad sales. It's among the more absurd things, right? So, yeah. But anyway, okay, terrible thing happened with the Supreme Court on the campaign finance, and I'm sorry for our loss.
Yeah. Now, NPR went with a report that they have since retracted that Samuel Alito was retiring. And there's also reports that Clarence Thomas could be thinking about retiring.
Oh,
So,
there's
I mean,
no doubt Clarence Thomas is going to retire before Trump is out of office, because that guy's like, I don't know, I'm not going to, I'm not going to do it
yeah,
another 6 years, and I don't want a Democrat replacing me.
yeah, yeah.
He's not going to let the Obama thing happen to him.
Yeah,
The Ginsburg Obama thing.
yeah, yeah. The thought that Donald Trump could have the opportunity to appoint 2 more people to the Supreme Court is just wow. We
Two
have to
people
expand.
with a more unitary executive theory than those two jokers, which is hardly possible, and
Right.
younger.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
younger,
Yep.
but to
And
our
and
earlier thing.
he feels like he's been burned at times by Amy Coney Barrett, so he's going to
Yeah.
be
Yes.
much stricter this time around.
Yeah. Probably won't be a woman this time. Lynn's a little political, told us she's, that because of the Supreme Court
Oh, yeah.
ruling that was announced
Let's see it.
yesterday, she
Yeah.
sent a piece. So, Lynn's a little political. Thanks for sending it over to Doug@vocommongood.com, which anybody can email me there. I mean, people do. I promise you. It doesn't matter. Got a great deal on siding, though. I can't wait for that guy to call me back. Judge clarifies, yes, Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll. And then she writes, the Supreme Court upheld this verdict.
Yep.
Now, that's maybe what the Supreme Court did. They at least said that Trump's claim against the case has no merits. I think we didn't need the Supreme Court to uphold the verdict. Donald Trump was found guilty of sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll and defaming her. One set. Those two things had to be proven in the court where he was found guilty. And the Supreme Court said, you cannot challenge it. You have to pay her the $5 million. And a reminder, that's followed up by an $84 million additional fine for him doing it again, which I'm sure could find its way back to the Supreme Court. The executive of the executive branch, according to the Supreme Court, the unitary executive theory, does not go to if you sexually assault a person before you're in office and then use your public office to defame the person. You don't get to do that.
Phew. It's just ridiculous.
I mean,
so ridiculous.
Isn't it? It just, the idea that we would, I mean, you think of all the candidates whose candidacies and presidential hopefulness ended with just an affair.
Yeah.
Not sexual assault, of which the guy, while running for office the first time, said, I do this, and they let you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, confess to it while being recorded, audio recorded, and then found guilty in a court of law for it.
Yeah.
And she's not the only one.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, very few people are showing up to the Great American State Fair happening in Washington, D.C. The reflecting pool remains green.
I didn't know that MAGA was now going to stand for make algae green again.
Yeah, pro swamp. MAGA is
pro swamp,
and we are still at war with Iran.
Yeah. How about them apples? How many times has Trump declared the war is over, everything is done? Hey, I'm trying to find the list of states that don't have state fairs.
There's a few that said, yeah, we can't afford to send employees to go man our booth for 16 days or whatever it is. Well, there was, and my goodness, have you seen some of these booths? Wow.
No, I heard people commenting. Okay, so Congress established a long time ago, because they can do math, that the 250-year celebration of the Declaration of Freedom from this country, that was then given away in 2016 by the voters of this country and again in 2024, sold off, as our Jewish text teaches us, their birthright for a bowl of porridge. They sold off our freedoms for this guy. And each time we had a chance to do it, more people said yes to him. Probably the billionaire's fault. Hold for dramatic.
So you're going to say Congress established this.
Congress established a 250-year celebration. Put a bunch of money. Going to be spread all over the country. Every state was going to get to do something. I mean, it was going to pierce the minds of the young lads of 2026 the way it did to our hearts in 1976. Trump redirected that money to go to his nonprofit, Freedom 250, took the money and reallocated it and spent it on a bunch of things DC-centric. This is the guy who's like, drain the swamp, get out of DC. This administration is going to be for the real Americans in real America. Congress wanted to give a bunch of money to real America. He took it and spent it all in Washington, D.C., or nearly all of it, great majority of it, redirected it into a boondoggle to pay for his thing, and then launched a Washington, D.C. centric 16-day states fair. The only states that don't have their own state fair are Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Pennsylvania. What's wrong with those people? I don't know. 48 other states, and probably some territories, have a state fair.
When I was in high school, I attended the New York State Fair. And two memorable things from that. One was the butter statue of Darryl Strawberry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I remember I had a pair of green Umbro shorts that were slick. They were kind of shiny, and I had my wallet and my keys in the back pocket, and we went on some ride, and my wallet and keys flew out of the back pocket, and we had to search for them. We did finally find them.
Wow.
But on the ground somewhere. But it could have been very bad. But I remember, my state fair memories: butter Darryl Strawberry, and green Umbro shorts.
I think one of the great things for anybody who's attended state fairs is that the dairy people know how to put on a state fair.
Yeah,
they're giving out chocolate milk, icy cold milk, just after it comes out of the cow, and they know how to carve things out of butter in the shape of people's heads. I went to college.
Oh, this was full on, like at the bat, like
full body.
Not just not just his head, like a statue of him at the bat.
Our state fair runs over Labor Day weekend, finishes on Labor Day. When I was in college, our college started before Labor Day, and one of the girls who was on my freshman floor was the Butter Princess. So we went with her to the state fair, and she stood next to a butter sculpture of her. I mean, what a treat! I'm smiling now thinking about it.
All I would want to do would be just like get a knife and a piece of toast and use your friend's butter self to
I say, can I spread your butter?
Rub some cream corn cob on there, and good times.
I don't remember now how someone becomes the Butter Princess. I don't know. But she was in the. I mean, later that day, she had to go in the parade and do the hand wave and do the whole thing.
Was she the Butter Princess, or was she the Dairy Queen?
She was the butter princess because of
was her mom the Dairy Queen?
I don't remember. I can't remember I can't remember the royalty of 1984's.
I just like making references to Dairy Queen.
Butter, yeah. Maybe she was the highest level, and there was no Dairy Queen. I don't know.
Did she
what
have
could have
milk
happened
made?
with all of our investment was to make every state fair shine with Freedom 250.
Yeah.
Lost.
And let that money trickle down to county fairs too.
Yes.
Like
Why pay a bunch of people in the District of Columbia, hang on for it, literally not a state? He took the state fair approach and had a state's fair in a place that's not a state. That is the District of Columbia, a company town for government. The small government party spent all the money in D.C. None of it went to you, and none of it went to me. There's a rhyme for you.
Yeah.
And also, who
It's
cares?
It's almost like he's in this thing to enrich himself.
Do you know what the president shouldn't do? Have to write a post that says, "Do you think I'm going to get credit for all the fun I gave people on the National Mall?" You're not in the entertainment business. Yeah. You shouldn't be running fights,
cage matches,
or butter sculptures. That's what the American people do. What should the government do? Create the conditions by which the rest of us can thrive, to provide for the common defense and contribute to the general welfare, not become the entertainment promoter or the arborist deciding that 47 maple trees should be planted in Lafayette Park, which you've spent a lot of time in, Robb. I've spent a lot of time in Lafayette Park, right off the White House. There's a lot of trees. They're putting in 47 commemorative maple trees.
What? Where and why?
For Trump in that park, so that the guy can have trees in his name. It is, look, I get it. I know that Baiting with Boldo on YouTube said we all love Trump. Do you really, though? You know, I'm working on this new rhetorical approach for people, which I want to offer to folks to try. You can use it in any sort of a disagreement, not a conflictual disagreement, but a non-agreement about an issue that you want to persuade somebody on. It's framing this line. Would it make a difference to you if such and such were true? So it sort of instead of saying, you know, Trump is enriching himself, you say to someone, would it make any difference to you if it was true that Donald Trump was enriching himself? So now there's this little airlock between the thing that might be the fact that they are unaware of. But you ask them first, would that matter? And it softens, but it also lets you know if the person's like, yeah, not really. Wouldn't really matter to me. Okay, then. Would it matter to you if Trump broke his promises? So that question of, would it make a difference? Would it matter to you? Would it be important to you? Is it something you would want to know? Would it help to inform? Like that approach, first of all, I think it's good for any of us in how we use our rhetorical opportunities. Because if we think that what's important to us is going to be important to the other person, it really might not. I mean, this is just general argument analysis. most arguments among people who like one another are because people don't agree about what matters to them. Right. The thing doesn't matter as much as that thing doesn't matter to you. I'm getting that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in our bit about campaign finance, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. So much money being spent and wasted, and so many people. That I just think we're solving a problem that you could solve all of it. Nothing would be solved. That's how I view it. So you approach an argument like that much differently than if someone was like, no, it just literally comes down to which restaurant are we going to eat at. So if you're talking about, with somebody about a restaurant, the first question should be, does it matter to you where we eat? And usually people say, oh, no, I'm open. Then you name a place, and then you find out if it matters where we eat. Yeah, let's go get Somali food, which I love Somali food. But a lot of people are like, ooh, nope. I can do that.
Yeah. Oh. We like when choosing a restaurant, we like to start with picking a genre.
Like style or like
what are you in the mood for? Like you want
okay.
Chinese, you want seafood, you want Italian, you want Mexican, you want a burger. And then once you kind of like get a sense of like, oh yeah, I could go for tacos. Then it's okay. We go into mojitos. We go into Medusa. We go into the taqueria. What are we doing?
Yeah. You know what I've found as I've gotten older, not the food style, but the kind of restaurant. Do you want to sit down? Do you want to counter order where you go up to the counter? I'll often say to Shelley, like, because she doesn't like going out to restaurants. She would much rather take any food and take it home and eat it at home. Be very much like that. She doesn't like going to a restaurant. And I'll be like, I want to go to a place where they give you refills. They come by and refill your cup. like we could talk about a lot of styles of food. I want to sit down and have someone come over and say, would you like a refill? Or I don't want to go to a place where I'm doing that. Like I want to go up and order at a counter and then go sit down someplace, like a fast casual. Or let's just get something to go. And if we're going to get something to go, then it's like, okay, if we're eating at home, then I don't know, it's sort of all over. It's been interesting how much I care about that. Like the vibe. Do you care about that at all?
The vibe.
Do you ever care about it?
Not usually, no.
Do you like a sit down? Do you like where and they're going to bring you a check later? Afterward, then you do the thing. You give them a card, and they go away with your card, and then they come back, and then you give them more money.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, no opinion.
Yeah, no opinion.
Whether you order it at a counter. Yeah. See, I've started that way. Can we go sit somewhere?
Maybe
I'll say.
Maybe 10 years from now, when I am,
Yeah.
8 years from now, when I'm on the brink of 60 years old, and we're celebrating Robb's 60 instead of Doug's 60.
Well, Godspeed to you. Somebody said, I saw some quote that somebody wrote where it was like, I'm not going to let Trump get in the way of my celebration of this country. In 2.5 years, he's going to be out of office. In 10 years, he's going to be dead. And something else. I was like, oh my gosh. And, you hit certain life stages and your mortality does come in front of you. And there's just a few things I want to happen while I'm alive. Just in the world, I want a few things to happen.
Yeah. Peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, of course. I want the flying car I was promised. Preferably hydrogen powered. Because I'm still holding against George W. Bush when he gave his first State of the Union. Not even the State of the Union. The first speech that he gave, after you're elected, they don't call it State of the Union. And he promised there would be driving cars driven by hydrogen.
Yeah.
Promises made.
George W. Bush lied to us?
It's a promissory about oil.
What?
It's a promissory note that has come back uncashed.
Alex asked in the chat, "What's your favorite food, Doug and Rob?" And listen, I think I think what we could do is I want to just flip that question and go least favorite food. I know yours, Doug. I know your least favorite food. You
Really?
know my least favorite food? Doug hates fish.
No, I don't hate fish. I like fish. It's toxically dangerous.
Okay, what's your least favorite food?
Curry. Basically rice dishes. Rice dishes, especially curry rice dishes. Yeah.
Wow.
And let me tell you, it's not something you're allowed to not like.
Oh, no, I'm about to hit you with one. I don't like Italian food.
Oh. Have you had good Italian food? That's what people always
Yes.
say. Well, what Italian food have you had? Have you had Northern Italian food or Southern Italian food? What? Like you don't like pasta?
The sauce and the noodles and I just
What about
I don't like it.
gnocchi? Do you like a gnocchi? You know, like a white sauce with a little pillowy? No, none of it. Okay.
If I have to have Italian, a chicken Alfredo, I guess it's okay.
With ranch sauce. One of those.
With ranch.
Like I don't really like salad, but if it's like some carrots with a lot of ranch sauce.
Yeah. Put a lot of cheese and bacon bits on that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't do well with rice dishes. I don't feel good, and I don't like. And I know curry is a broad category, but really the turmeric-driven curry flavor. Yeah, don't care about it. But no,
See,
the fact that I care about the well-being of people and that there's not a safe level of fish when it comes to mercury is not that I don't like it. I do like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying there's not a safe level of mercury in like noodles or something like that.
Okay, the difference is I'm not just saying it. It's actually
See,
true.
I mean, see, I'm getting the reactions from Alex. What? You don't like Italian food?
If fish?
And Peggy wants to know if I've had Italian food.
There it is. Have you had it?
Yeah.
This is how it goes when you don't like a genre of food, curry or anything else. Yeah. It's
but you haven't.
Hey, here's another rhetorical argument trick about not liking things because I saw I saw a U2 Joshua Tree album at a half price bookstore where by the way Shelly and I cleaned off a bookshelf and we have lots of books, so we took books to the half price bookstore, a big box, I don't know, 50, 60 books. Some which were sent, some which we bought, some which were given to us, some which were sent because people publish books and we talked about them on the podcast.
Oh my goodness, you probably took some of my books. I've written 2 books that no one's read.
You didn't send me any, or I would have.
I did. I did send you a copy of Fundamorphosis.
I think you're right about that. I think I got rid of that a long time ago. How much do you just hazard to guess how much we boxed up books? They sat in our dining room for a while. We scooted them around. I finally put them in the car yesterday, drove to the half price bookstore, slightly out of the way, went into the drop off place, waited 35, 40 minutes for them to go through the books. And then they came back and gave me, here's what we're going to give you for
$6.50.
$17.42. $17. It was just, it was just comically absurd.
It's, I mean, you ever take clothes to like one of those consignment places or something, you know, like, and it says,
same thing.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Like you think, oh, you know, I spent hundreds of dollars on these clothes. I'm taking them in. And these are, you know, stories Vanessa tells me. And they offer you like, I'll give you $4 for it.
Yeah. And you usually take it and walk out and think, wow, dirty for that.
Yeah.
But there was a Joshua
because the other opportunity is just to take them to the, you know, the thrift store and drop them off at the Goodwill, you know, where you're not getting anything for them.
There was a Joshua Tree box set there from the band U2, which I know you're a fan of. Yeah, like
cassettes.
No,
DVD?
I don't know. It was like a big black case and had things inside of it. I didn't take it down, but it was up with the box set stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I thought, you know, because I'm not a U2 fan. And it dawned on me, and this is the other rhetorical point you can make when there's something you don't care for. There's no question in my mind that U2 makes good music. They're good. I just don't like it. Because when you say to someone, I don't like U2, people are like, it's great. And they think that you're somehow missing out on recognizing how good it is.
Yeah.
So if you start with something like you can be like, you know what, Italian food is really good. I just don't like it. Then it's you, not the thing, right? You're then, which is the thing we mean all the time anyway. Like, no, I just don't like it. Is really different. So in conversations with people, it can just be super helpful to be like, would it be helpful if you knew would it matter to you if this were true? And it's really good. It's great. You know, if someone said, "Oh, have you seen this show?" You're like, "Oh, I've heard it's really, really good, but I didn't like it." And then, you know, you're not gonna blunt the fact that someone's gonna convince you that your taste can change. But it helps a little bit to not make it so, you know, declarative of its, because most things are taste and aren't facts.
Yes.
Most things are not information, they're belief systems. So, you know, have at it. Yeah. Okay, Peggy says something about a new reflecting pool. Are they just going to start over? Is Trump just going to redig the whole thing?
No, I think that was in reference to us cracking jokes about, I don't know, something. I don't know. I think she was.
Peggy's also saying that Regime Change by Haberman and Jonathan Swan is a good read.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. I mean, I just don't care for it. Like that? Did I do it right?
Yeah. I've heard that. I've just realized I don't have good taste. That's even better.
Yeah. And Kimberly making the case that you have to cook Brussels sprouts correctly to for them to taste good.
Yeah. You have to cook Brussels sprouts.
No such thing.
Especially deep in butter and some bacon bits on top. Or, you know, it's a great way to make Brussels sprouts if you want to give it a try, in an air fryer. Oh,
I live with people who love Brussels sprouts, and so we have them much more frequently than I would prefer.
Taste or texture? What don't you like?
Taste. Texture doesn't bother. I'm not a texture guy.
Okay. Taste. All right. Final word here from Lynn's a little political. Hot take. He's going to act like a landlord of an apartment complex that doesn't want to deal with it and just fill the pool with cement.
Then put tables with the yellow and white Mar-a-Lago umbrellas.
Lynn, you're hitting close to heart. I grew up in an apartment complex. It was the deepest place of my formation. The center of the parking lot was our swimming pool. And in recent years, the new owners have taken out the pool. And there's a way in which your childhood memories are crushed, filling in the swimming pool because the landlord said, I don't want the liability or to have to pay the pool company anymore.
Yep.
Straight to the heart.
My Green Water Solutions guy has gotten a lot more expensive since he started taking money from the federal government.
Really?
Oh,
okay. Kimberly's saying, "Hey, Kimberly, if you come to the birthday yard party, bring some roasted Brussels sprouts." Okay. This is kind of a holiday week, sort of a holiday week version.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, if you're born in America, you're an American. Still. 5 to 4. I am going to be grousing about that for, well.
Yeah, take a victory and be cranky about it.
I could be in the midst of the death rattle. And if you have the good fortune to be in there, Rob, just listen closely to me, maybe just grunting out 4. And that's what I'm going to be referring to.
Alito, Thomas, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch.
All right. Hey, happy 250th. Sorry, we're not going to have 250 more.
Hey, that's right. Hey, happy Doug 60.
Thank you. Tip of the hat to you, sir. There's a thing in when people age, like ages 0 in Vietnam to 9 make a huge difference. The physical look, the capabilities, the capacities between a newborn and a 9-year-old is a big 9 years. 10 to 19 could also be big years. And then you kind of get 19 to 29 and kind of to 39 and kind of to 49. But you hit a point in which 10 years becomes a lot. Somewhere 60, 70, for sure 80s for a lot of people, where, one illness, one fall, one bump of the head, and the decline can become quite evident. I feel like I was born into a country when it was 190 where it could sort of tolerate that. We're now at the point one or two more falls, and I just think the decline can become rapid. I don't think America is in the hospice state.
We're not in our death rattle.
I don't think. Like if it ended now, it would have seemed a little too soon. But it's that Gaffigan joke where, or who's the other guy that kind of looks like Gaffigan? The guy did the bit about airplanes, where everyone's flying in airplanes and complaining about the Wi-Fi not being very, very good. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Anyway, he's like, yeah, I just turned 49, or I just turned 50 or something. He said, now, if I were to die, he said, a few years ago, if I were to die, people would have said, oh, he was so young. Now, if I were to die, people would be like, yeah, seems about right. Clearly reached that point, right, where people are.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that thing where I was speaking at an event and a woman, I met her like in the food line, and she's like, hey, you're one of the speakers at this thing. And she's like, I don't know, in her 20s, early 30s. And she was like, wow, I'm surprised you're still alive. I read your books a long time ago. Such a great line. She's just so blunt and honest. Like,
surprised.
She's like, no, I mean, I just thought like you were older when I read your books. I just assumed, she's like, I was in college and I read this stuff. I'm surprised you're still alive. I said, well, me too. Yeah. After last weekend, especially. All right.
Fantastic.
Okay, hang on.
All right.
We're going to give those. This is a bump in the road. The America that comes back from this, stronger, better, faster. All right, $6 Million Man theory. Okay, good. Let's take that. We can rebuild this country.
Thank you, Lynn.
Steve Austin was the character in that show. Steve Austin. I'm going to make it to my 90. Okay. Yeah, boy, those people whose like families lived to be in their 90s, not my family.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll break the mold. All right, well.